I'm Elizabeth Shanahan-Jewett, and this is Local Matters. I hope this week has been good to you. Let's talk about what's happening in our area. The Summer Lawn Concert Series at the Plymouth Public Library continues. On July 29th at 1 p.m., bring a blanket and find a spot on the lawn to enjoy the Larry Stevens Band. Performing everywhere from Nashville to New York City and on ABC's Good Morning America, Larry Stevens' signature blend of rock, pop, folk, and country music, coupled with a summer afternoon, is the perfect way to end the month of July. The Local Scene team will be there too with Pop-Up Pack TV. Look for the Local Scene banner, come by and say hi, and be on Pack TV. The Old Colony YMCA is one of the largest human service providers in southeastern Massachusetts, with programs for all ages and abilities designed to help build healthy minds, bodies, and spirits. We thought that with summer now in full swing, it's a perfect time to get advice from the experts on tips for aquatic safety. Julie spoke with Vice President of Program Development, Serah Selmon, and Associate Executive Director Cristina Wilson about this and other ways the Y is serving our community.
Serah and Cristina, welcome. So good to have you today. Before we delve into all things Y, can we just talk a little bit about how you both came to be where you are right now in the position you were in at the Y? Serah, why don't we start with you?
Absolutely. As a child and in high school and college, I had a passion for athletics and just the lessons you can learn in management and life through a team. So I really started in for-profit sports and athletics, and then in fitness, and worked for some for-profit gyms. I found the Y by accident, and it was the best possible fit for me. I started in fitness, progressed to aquatics and programming, and now I am lucky enough to oversee 2 branches in programming for our association.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Cristina, you are the Associate Executive Director. So how did you get there?
Hi, I actually began my Y journey learning to swim at the Y when I was a child with Old Colony YMCA growing up in Brockton. From there, when I was in college, it was one of my first jobs where I was able to work at a before and after school program as a group leader. And that's where my love for the Y truly began. And seeing all the programs that we do, I have been what they call a Y lifer. So my whole professional career has mainly been with the YMCA. I have worked as a camp counselor, a camp director, a program director, and have worked for Ys throughout the country. So I was able to work in Northern California as well as with the San Diego Association for many years, and came back to Massachusetts to raise my family and was able to get right back in with the YMCA here in Plymouth and oversee daily operations for our local branch as well as our day camp.
Wow, that's wonderful. Good for you, a lifer, a Y lifer. Okay, it is getting into the really hot season, especially today, and people are heading to the beaches and the pools and they're swimming. So the Y has always been known for swimming lessons. You even have a competitive swim team. Can we just give some brief advice to all the people out there watching about a couple things about swimming? A, when should kids first learn how to swim? And who wants to take that one?
I can take that one. I think that everyone's looking for the perfect answer. My recommendation would be that water safety discussion should start as early as possible. So you always want to talk about the fact that you never want to enter a body of water without asking permission and making sure that there's a water watcher or somebody keeping their eye on you at all times. And that's a conversation that you can start through stories to an infant, etc. I think there's a lot of people that believe infants should learn how to swim. And I think that every child is just different and needs to be taught in a way that they're comfortable, and let them know that water can be so much fun, but it's a risk, and that learning to swim is important, but we'll take our time, we'll be patient with them, and we really want to make sure that it's done at each child's pace. So I do really believe that everyone's just a little bit different. If you have a family that's willing to have infants swim, there's a large school of thought that that is a really great idea. I don't know that it's necessary, and people can learn to swim at any age. I will also just say that there's a lot of people that don't know how to swim when they reach teen and adulthood, and they feel like they're alone. And we see a lot of that this season. We're talking to many schools about teenagers that get invited to pool parties or that don't feel like they can properly watch their children. So I do need to give the message that if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. We see over 10 people a day at each of our branches that have the exact same thoughts.
As far as the difference between going into a pool, going into a pond or a lake, or going into the ocean, are there different things that you have to warn people about or caution them about when it comes to water safety?
Yeah, I can take that one too. Cristina, we'll get to. With the pool, you have known depths, and oftentimes you have lifeguards that have very known zones of protection. And so they know where to scan, they know where the sort of risk areas are, and you generally have a very clear view of the bottom. With a waterfront, there's things like currents and changes of depth that are unpredictable. And so it obviously poses a little bit greater of a risk, and you just really need to be careful because you can't always see the full scope of the bottom area and know exactly where everyone is.
Right, excellent, good point. Let's talk about other things that the Y is involved with, the myriad of things that you do. But first, can we talk about this past year? Has been such a challenge to so many families, and I'm sure the Y felt the same challenge. How did you step up in terms of child care and after school care when there was school, and how did that model change for you over this past year? And Cristina, you can probably answer that one.
I can take this one for sure. So the Y really prides itself on being adaptable and being there for what our community needs are. And that's what makes the Y unique. And every Y in every community really tries to bend and flow with what the community needs are. The moment that we shut down as a state, the Y stepped up and said, we need to be there for our families. And we were able to provide emergency childcare for first responders. And that really entered in immediately at almost all of our daycare locations. And we were able to do that not from everywhere from infants all the way up to kids ages 12 and 13, and had staff that, in the craziness of all, like showed up every single day, willing to be a consistent, safe place and safe adults for these kids. And so hard for parents that had never even been to our centers. We weren't allowing parents in, but to have that trust with the Y and know that they could go and be at work and do what they needed to do and have a safe place for their kids was unbelievable. Then with reopening, we were able to reopen our daycares, but with school going back in session, we really needed to look at the new hybrid models and how we were going to serve kids. When you reopen the government, people need to go back to work, and they need a safe place. I keep saying this again, but they need a safe place for their kids to be so that they can go and do the things that they need to do. We were able to offer remote learning and really look at our facility space and here at our day camp at Camp Clark, we opened up our lodge. We were able to work with Plymouth Public Schools. And the next thing I know, I had 60 desks socially distanced, and we turned into virtual classrooms and had staff that were able to sit with the kids and really navigate that whole crazy world of remote learning and be there for the children. So we were able to do that. And we were lucky to be able to open our day camps last summer, very limited capacity. But again, for those people, for those first responders and people that really needed the care, we were an option for them. And as we're seeing now, we have day camp going on right now. And we're almost maxed out every week. We're seeing the need grow. We're seeing that parents and kids are really hungry for that socialization and to get back and being with friends and honestly just being kids. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do this summer, is give them back some sense of normalcy.
I was going to ask you that because I looked at your brochure for the summer camp, and it's pretty amazing. And I mean, you offer busing. I mean, there's so many things that you can offer to parents, because so many parents too have gone back to work and they both work. And where do you go where you can trust your kids to, like you said, kids be kids again and be able to socialize with other kids? Really, really important. So when you said you're maxed out, just about maxed out every week, is that all the camps that the Y has, or is that just in Plymouth?
It's definitely in Plymouth, but we are seeing that we're reaching capacity at almost all our camps. We're seeing higher enrollment numbers this summer than pre-pandemic.
Right.
And we're also seeing a lot of new families So new people that are new to the Y, which is great, great for us and great for the kids and families. And we're also seeing people, so we run care anytime school is not in session at all of our camps and all of our Ys. And we're seeing more people versus maybe just coming for 1 or 2 weeks. We're seeing families that are signing up for the whole entire summer.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. How
we
have you,
also, I mean,
I was
I'm
just going
so
to say,
sorry.
have you had the same problem that so many businesses had with staffing to be able to handle all this?
Yes.
Same, right?
So
everywhere, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, we are fortunate that because we run programming year round and we run before and after school programs in all of the schools and have great relationships in the community, I think that has helped us. But it is definitely a struggle and something that we're keeping at the forefront to make sure we're retaining good quality staff for our kiddos that are coming through the door.
Good for you, and good for all the things you're doing for everybody. And Serah, do you have any last words you want to talk about, or any other programs that you want to talk about? We wouldn't have time to cover all of them, obviously, but what's at the forefront of your mind for right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a whole other part of our business that Cristina and I don't work for directly, but I think, we have a whole sort of social services and mental health side to our business and run a clinic. And when you think camps, you don't necessarily know the ins and outs of our partnerships with the Department of Mental Health and our behavioral specialists and things like that. So we just want to make sure, again, kids have been so isolated, and they're coming in and all of a sudden experiencing other kids and these wonderful activities. And we're just trying to put in every support possible to make sure that every kid leaves feeling successful, and not that, they're having behavioral issues, but we want to support them in all aspects of the words. That also includes access to food. So we have a lot of branches that are putting in food access programs. We are offering meals at our camps and anything families need. And what we're seeing, obviously, across communities is that families that have never experienced hardship before and never thought it would happen to them are suddenly coming to us, and we just need to break down all of that stigma and all of those feelings of discomfort that, it has happened to so many people are in places they never expected to be right now. And we just want to, again, wrap our arms around them in whatever ways we can, from offering jobs to teenagers and experiences to help prepare them for their, future employment, whether it's with us or in another career. We want to teach them those lessons. We've really got to help those children come into, activities where they can socially interact with one another so that they're better prepared for school. And we address any loss of learning this summer that might have been experienced through the virtual classrooms that were not a great fit for everybody, but were our only option. So I could go on for weeks, but we're just so happy to be able to open our doors in whatever way possible. Staffing is a challenge, but people either are or are not cut out for Y work. And the people that we have are those that are just so genuine and are here for a reason and often experience such hardship themselves that they just want to pay it forward and be that person for others that someone was for them. And so that is really special about the Y. And I think that our workforce is incredible, and they are excited to step up and be whatever we need to be.
That's wonderful. And you do such good work. The Y is just known for such good work. I thank you so much, both of you, for being here today, and definitely encourage people to go to the website and just explore, because it's pretty amazing the reach that the Y has in so many directions and for so many people. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful and safe summer.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Julie, Cristina, and Serah. To check out the many ways the Y empowers community health and connection, visit oldcolonyyMCA.org. The Kingston Public Library is more than words. It's also a place to beat the summer heat with an afternoon of water balloon fights, bucket brigades, and more. On July 21st, dress in your swimsuit or other clothing you don't mind getting wet, and head down to the library tent on the front lawn at 2 p.m. for an hour-long outdoor water party. Recommended for ages 4 through 12. Remember, bring a towel and register via the library's website. Artist McLeana Gomes and public relations executive Jennifer MacGyver Edwards are childhood friends and put their heads together at the height of the pandemic, asking, what can we do? Thus, the Community Art Collaborative was born. The CAC is a nonprofit offering community members the opportunity to create and contribute small pieces of art that come together to form a larger project around a central theme or idea. On June 22nd, the organization unveiled its first art installation at Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital. This ongoing multi-location exhibit, entitled In This Together, is designed to both celebrate healing and honor the experiences of everyone personally impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Using a mixture of images, messages of hope, and gratitude for frontline heroes, the honeycomb-shaped exhibit is a collaborative project with contributions from local artists, healthcare workers, students, and other members of the community. Future sites include Hedge House and Stevens Field in Plymouth. Each installation will have its own unique theme. Just another way that art connects us. To get involved or find out more, visit the Community Arts Collaborative website or Facebook page. Would you like advice and brief counsel on a simple legal question? Meet attorney Lauren Mello, Esquire, who will be at the Pembroke Council on Aging Monthly holding 15-minute free consultations. Attorney Mello is a graduate of Tufts University and Suffolk University School of Law, has her own law firm, and has counseled clients in the use of wills, trusts, and other devices meeting their probate, tax, and estate planning needs. Her expertise and personal touch will help set you at ease, knowing that your legal affairs are in order. The first session is on July 19th and begins at 11 a.m. Call the office at 781-294-8220 to reserve your time. Funded by a grant from the Duxbury Cultural Council, the Duxbury Senior Center is offering a July 21st educational program on seaweed, nature's health food. Presented by Judy Machachi, retired science educator who currently presents programs on natural history throughout the South Shore. This fun outdoor program will utilize natural items in a variety of hands-on activities. This hour-long program begins at 2 p.m. Sign up for It's All About What You See by emailing programs@duxburycoa.com or by calling 781-934-5774, extension 5716. Fast food can be homemade and healthy. On this craft foodery, Max prepares a delicious chicken, rice, and vegetable dish based around the seasoning that makes it distinctive: curry.
Hey Tiff, what's going on?
Hey Max, what's going on? I am trying to make some curry.
Oh yeah? How you making the curry?
It's the boxes that you get from the discount store.
Can I see that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you make curry in a box, huh?
Yeah.
You can do better than this.
I can. Oh.
We're not using that. We're making real curry.
Whoa, how did you do that?
Magic, obviously. Like, you want to cook some real curry?
Yeah, I want to cook some real curry.
All right, let's get into
All right,
it.
let's do this.
Clearly we have some options here. We have red peppers, we have some onions, we have some green onions, we have a little bit of seasoning, some coconut milk, and of course, curry paste. And this is masari, and I'm probably butchering the name, but that's okay. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but this is like the key to making the curry that I usually make. I got this at an Asian supermarket, but I don't know like if they sell these at like regular Stop and Shop or not, but I'm sure they have something along those lines. And so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna cut the chicken up, and yeah, just some chicken tenders. It's gonna be pretty simple. You wanna get in on cutting this up?
Yeah, I would. Now, do you want it like diced, or how big do you want it?
Yeah, we're gonna cut it up. We're just gonna dice it up into little cubes, and yeah.
Sure.
So here we go.
All right.
Take a couple. Just gonna use like 3 chicken tenders. Good. I usually like try to get the tendon out too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Didn't do that until after. Yeah, I am not a good cutter.
It's okay. We'll get you there.
Yeah, I make my fiance do all the cutting.
Yeah, usually what I like to do is cut off the excess fat and then cut the tendons out. And like when I'm holding my knife, I like to hold it with like the thumb on this side.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of like gets you into it. And then what I'm gonna do is just kind of like rock back and forth with it.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, that's usually how I do it.
I think I'm cutting it too small, but I really want to practice that rocking motion.
Yeah, and if you cut everything, like in terms of chicken, to be the same size, it's all gonna cook at the same rate.
I didn't even think of
Yeah.
that.
So if like you have smaller pieces, it's actually going to
Cook faster.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
well, things you can say, hey, it's okay.
It's my practice.
It's better than those box curries, so it's all that matters.
Oh, you're dissing my box curry. I see
a little
how it
bit, a
is.
little bit, but you know, you can do better than that.
What other kind of things do you use with curry? Any kind of other proteins?
I usually go with the chicken, but like, you know, you can use like shrimp on this dish or something like that.
I eat curry with paneer a lot, that like cubed Indian cheese.
Oh, yeah, no, I never used that before.
Oh, it's really good.
What's your process for that?
You usually get it, it's basically like a hard cottage cheese, and you can get it from any kind of like Indian supermarket or anyone that kind of specializes in that type of food. It's really good.
Well, that's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, the first time I ever had it was this great restaurant in Quincy, and
Yeah, Quincy usually has good stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because this is the way I've been making like my curry, and it's just kind of like a fast version of it. And I know there's like a more in-depth way of doing it.
Fast is good though. If you don't
Yeah.
have time, you don't have time.
Yeah,
you
it's just
know?
like, you know, you get home and tired, and you just got home from work. You're like, I just want something like simple but tasty, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of my view on it. Yeah, almost done cutting this chicken up. All right, so now we're gonna need a bowl to put the chicken off to the side. So I'm just gonna use some more magic because I can do that.
Still amazing every time.
Yeah. So let's put the chicken into that bowl right there. You want to start it off?
Right. Would you like me to? Or
If you want to pass it to me, I got it. Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Okay, let's put that over here. We're doing rice next, and I always like to wash my rice, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash it and just kind of do a quick walkthrough of how to do it. So yeah, here it is. A big thing when you're cooking rice is you want to rinse your rice, and this will help make it a lot fluffier and get kind of like the germs and like all the dust that like the grains rubbing together might cause, and this will have your rice cook a lot better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some basmati rice that I got from Trader Joe's. I'm just gonna put a little bit in the pot here. I mean, normally if you read the instructions on the back of these, I'll say like put a cup of rice and 2 cups of water. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I usually have the water running about like lukewarm, doesn't have to be too hot. I have this strainer here, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fill up the pot full of rice with water. Turn that off. We're just gonna bring it over here. What I like to do is just kind of shake it all around. Still have some rice left, just make sure I get it all of it. Just kind of move it around, give it a rinse. I like to do this 2 to 3 times. You can see, like when you actually put it in, the water gets kind of murky. So first time, put it back in the pot. Just gonna fill it up a little bit. And what I'm looking for is for the water just to be a little on the clearer side. This isn't too bad, but I'm just going to give it one more rinse. Okay, put it back in. And that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple step. It's just an extra step that you don't always want to do, especially when you get home late at night. You just kind of want to skip it. But if you want good rice, I suggest rinsing your rice, and I really can't reiterate that enough. So I'm just gonna put this over here. We'll get that started. Turn this on.
Do you usually like estimate how much water you're gonna put in, or do you measure?
Usually, you know, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I'll put some salt in it. It's important. You can even put butter in it, but I guess we're just not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. We're gonna let that come to a boil.
You wait till it boils before you put the lid on.
Boils, and then we'll slow cook it for 18 minutes. So one of us hopefully will pull out their phones. I'm actually really bad at timing my rice just because I don't put it on a timer.
Fair enough.
I just use my phone timer. But for the time being, let's get into cutting some of these vegetables.
Okay, great.
We'll cut the onions first. What I like to do, obviously you have to peel off the sticker. That's huge for starters. You don't want stickers in your...
Stickers can be tasty, why not?
Yeah. Good. And I like to cut in half. Now, I try not to cut the root. So the root being right here or here, because that's what causes you to start crying once you cut the root.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you're in tears when you're cutting onions, that's kind of it helps.
You always hear those weird tricks of
So
how
I'll give you
to
that one to cut.
cut an onion.
And then, so we're gonna peel it. And I just like to use the heel of the knife right there.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna cut myself.
And just kind of go down the middle. Just just get into it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just where you made that kind of seam right there, just start peeling away.
I always peel too far down.
Yeah, I've taken out a few layers, I'm not gonna lie. That's okay though, as long as you get your onion at the end of the day. And we'll just keep it simple today. We'll just cut the long way, so I'm just gonna go, not on the, flip it the other way.
Flip this way?
Yeah, so don't cut on the root. If you go, let's see, like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And then when you're cutting, try to keep your knuckles or your, that, so you don't risk cutting your fingers.
Oh, okay. So do you do it this way?
I'm gonna do it like this, but I try to keep my fingertips. I don't want to hold it like that. I want to keep my fingertips like this.
I have nothing to hold on to in the back.
What you can also do is just go like this if you're running out of space.
Okay.
Or if you want to flip it.
Oh, okay. So like that.
So kind of put your finger like that.
I
Yeah.
can't see.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, go a little thicker on that.
How you feeling about those?
We're getting in there.
I lost a layer.
It's okay, it's okay.
As you're having a panic attack watching me. I understand, it's totally
We all
fine.
have to learn at some point. Yeah, my dad, he taught me how to cook, so he always made that known, curl your fingers up before you use the knife.
That's super smart.
Yeah.
Don't cut the root. Don't cut the root.
Yeah, unless you want, get the waterworks going,
Everybody needs a good cry every once
Everyone
in a
does,
while.
but just not today, Today's not that day.
My sad onions.
Our water's almost boiling, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna julienne this pepper. So this is gonna be a bonus tip.
The world where cutting red pepper is super dramatic comes a bonus tip. Bonus tip. How to Keep cutting. You can do it. Keep slicing the pepper. This should be your finished result. It should look like this. And that was your dramatic, cinematic bonus tip. Now back to cooking rice with Max and Tiff. Like nothing
What we need
even
to do is
happened.
time the rice out, so we'll do 18 minutes.
Okay,
You have to pull your phone out and
Yeah.
set the time.
All right, we are good.
And I'm really terrible at setting the time. Like usually I just try to like guess 18 minutes and then I forget and then I take the lid off and like the rice isn't fully cooked and what I tried to avoid is taking the lid off until it's like fully done. Because after 18 minutes we're just gonna let it steam for a little bit and take off the heat. Some green onions, that's gonna be our garnish. So this won't go on till after we've cooked everything.
Okay.
I'll let you do this part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now I'm scared.
Practice those knife skills.
Oh, jeepers.
All right, so here we go.
All right.
You have a pretty busy looking cutting board.
I do. It's a little preoccupied. There's a little party going on. All righty. What is the best way to cut green onions?
Yeah, so I like to line these up, and then the top's gonna be a little messy, but
Yeah.
like try to hold it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yep. And pick up your knife.
And then you want to do like front to back or?
Yeah, front to back, just kind of rock it. That's kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm getting the hang of it.
All right.
Max, I'm growing up.
We're all growing up. It's a big day. Alright, so you have the green onions, nice. I'll save those for later.
What are you using to season the chicken?
This is gonna be really crazy, so like you're not prepared for this.
Oh,
So,
I'm really not.
from what I hear, like people don't always season their foods, which is, you know,
Terrible.
like
What a
no,
life.
it's kind of bad. Like I don't understand it, but don't be one of those people. But like what we're gonna do today, like we're just gonna use some garlic salt and some black pepper. I promise you, like a little bit goes a long way here. Simple things, right? You know. So we got the black pepper. Salt.
You do the Italian method. We don't measure anything in my house. It's just
Yeah.
like a dash
No.
of this.
See,
a
this
little
is
bit
what
of
this is
that.
why I'm not a baker.
Oh man.
'Cause-
Baking is so different than cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of like respect for it, but like I just want to be able to like put as much on as I want. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna turn the pan, the heat on. Nice, beautiful. Put a little bit of olive oil. Now you can do this, I'm using extra virgin olive oil, but you can do this with like, I usually use sunflower oil for this.
Really?
Just because it has a higher cooking temp.
Yeah.
And but today, you know, I decided to change things up a little bit.
I use a lot of sesame oil for
Yeah,
things.
sesame oil is great. You could actually use that in this dish. I didn't bring that today, but
Oh man.
you know,
Next time.
we'll do
Next
that.
time.
Let that heat up. We can probably put our vegetables in here. Like the peppers are probably take the longest to break down in the
Right.
pan, so I'm gonna put those in first.
Have you ever made your own paste before?
No, that's what I'm interested in doing.
Probably a really long process.
I've seen like recipes online and like a lot of like cookbooks and stuff like that, but if we're trying to get home on a weekday or
Right.
something like that, then
You're not going to be creating a curry paste.
yeah.
So a little really goes a long way, huh?
Yeah, this is like a spicier curry paste.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Probably gonna put a little bit of salt in here too.
Nice.
We'll mix in the chicken. Nice.
So for like a lot of folks, curry is like the homey food, you know, like what you eat with your family. Do you have any foods that you're really into, like that you ate with your family growing up?
Yeah, I mean, this was one of them. My dad used to cook this all the time, but also he makes like a really nice, my dad was the chef in the family, and around 9 years old, like everyone in my family had to cook dinner for the entire family.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
It's terrifying, but awesome.
Well, I mean, we had help. It wasn't like it was all you, but like they would like teach us like how to make a meal we wanted to make, and then go into it.
That's really cool. Life skills.
Yeah, exactly. And really big on that. And but like my favorite meal growing up that he cooked was steak and French fries. But like he'd do like a garlic butter with some herbs on it, and then he'd cook the steak a certain way, it'd be super tender, and yeah, it was really good. And then he had what's called a French fry later, and he would put the fries down in the pan and cook them, and then take them out. And then he would like salt, I forget if he salted or he used black pepper and everything, but then he'd double fry them again so they'd be like extra crispy.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then one time like my best friend came over and he's like, these fries don't even need ketchup. I'm like, I mean, that'd be a sin if you did that, but so yeah. That was my favorite like homey meal. How about you?
That's funny. My dad actually used to make steak and fries on Sunday. That's hysterical. I've never heard anyone actually say that before.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, my dad worked second shift a lot, so we didn't have him a lot during the week. So when the weekend came around, we usually had Sundays. And that was like our day with him, and he used to cook all day, and then like the house would be open to everyone, so just random people would stop by.
Yeah,
and
so you grew up with it.
Yeah. The kind of like Italian thing is to like have all the food on the counter all day, and people just come by and pick and
That's
grab
awesome.
whatever. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. My house was like very welcoming to other people.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a big family too. Like,
Yeah.
we had a small one. That's cool. I wish I had. That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I think like that's where like I don't know if this is the same for you, but like that's where I kind of learned to respect like making like a homemade meal, because like we'd always sit down with each other and like, you know, talk about each other's day and everything.
Yeah,
And,
that's awesome. I actually really respect that, because like I didn't have that a lot growing up, just because my parents had really weird working
everyone comes
hours.
from a different situation.
Yeah, exactly. But like I appreciate it now, like when we do get together, and it makes you just kind of cherish those moments a little bit more.
Yeah, it's awesome. Cool.
So how long is this gonna take?
I'm honestly just kind of going off like what I think is best. I want to make sure the chicken's cooked properly, cooked all the way through. And chicken's like a pretty like boring thing to cook, but the thing is it's so versatile that like you can do anything with it, you know? But
it's also for me the trickiest thing to cook.
Yeah.
Like if my steak's a little under, that's fine. If my chicken's a little under, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is just to make sure the sides, like, it's kind of the same with like red meat too, but just make sure the sides are white before I flip. And like I'm moving it around a lot too anyways, so it's also really helpful. I also want to make sure like I don't burn the onions or anything like that.
Yeah.
And a good trick for like if your onions are cooking too fast is if you take a little bit of water and dump it in, it'll stop the cooking process. It'll lessen it so it's not like caramelizing if you don't want it to go that far. Or burning, you know, these things happen.
Would you like me to scoop rice or wait?
Let's check it out.
Ooh, it's like sticking straight up.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be hot if I touch that handle, isn't it? That's for you.
It's nice and hot. If I could see your plate, I'll serve you up.
Ah, thank you. Holy guacamole, that's really good.
And that's how you make, easy to make red chicken curry.
It's really good. It has like enough zest where it's spicy enough without being overpowering, and the cream of the coconut milk. That's bomb.
Yeah, you can always adjust accordingly without how much curry paste you put in, whatever works for you. Now everyone has like a different interpretation of what like spices, so.
I could eat like 3 bowls of it.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way this came out.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Max.
Yeah, no problem. You know, sharing is caring.
Ooh, curry. Can I have some?
No!
Get out!
Next, we have performer Mattie Luiijf, a musician from the Netherlands whom we first came to know early in the pandemic through the Socially Distant Fest, where she performed regularly. Prior to Socially Distant Fest, Mattie had performed only one time publicly in an English pub when she was in her 20s. Now in her 60s, Mattie has continued to grow as a musician and is an inspiration. Titled A Sea Between Us, here is her original song.
The sea between us. I'm longing for that country, the land where I feel at home, where I'm free to travel on my own, and never thought I was alone. When will I see you again? Do we need a time to plan? And does it matter at all if we meet in summer or in fall? Sooner or later I will get there, in the heart of calm like a key, to where the space is endless all around. That's the place I wanna be. When will I see you again? Do we need a time to plan? And does it matter at all if we meet in summer or in fall? There's a sea between us. It feels like 1,000 miles away, but I know it's closer in my mind, where my heart wants to stay. Then I'll see you, my friend. We will meet in the end, like a mirror in 2 parts, real connection of our hearts. Then I'll see you, my friend. We will meet in the end, like a mirror in 2 parts, real connection of our hearts, real connection of our hearts, real connection of our hearts.
Thank you so much, Mattie, and thank you for staying with us for this episode of Local Matters. From all of us at PAC TV, have a happy and safe week. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to The Local Scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.